And then we go here. Cool, stream popped up. That's a good sign. Edit. I don't like YouTube stream settings. It's kind of annoying, actually. I can see why Twitch is.
Don't like their ad services.
Oh my gosh. That was so hilarious yesterday, and it was just before I came on. That's why it was so fresh in my mind. And then I gotta go to X. Any new notifications? Dude, my gotta say, my engagement on X keeps going up, which makes me happy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I posted a video, got like 4 reposts. It was nice.
There you go.
So yeah. I
gotta file my taxes.
Yeah, I gotta do those too. I'll probably do them Monday, Tuesday, because I just got my W-2. We have my wife's W-2, so we're ready to go. And it's just for the first year ever, it's only 2 W-2s.
That's beautiful.
Oh man, I've been so annoyed because we don't have to pay taxes on the house either because we were in it for 4 years. So
there you go.
We don't have to pay taxes on the sale of the house. So we were like, for so long, especially with like the Army, it was like we couldn't get away from having like a bunch of W-2s between working multiple jobs, and it just was so annoying. And then also, I got a lot of stock from my grandfather, so I would sell stock and things like that. That would just make taxes annoying for me. Plus, the Army fucks shit up all the time, so you get these random like tax documents that you have no clue how to use because you're just a random individual.
I mean, fair.
And it would be things like, oh, we overpaid you, so you need this for taxes. It's like, what?
No.
I'm not kidding. That would happen, and it just got annoying. I think one year we had like 20 documents, and I was just like, fuck this, I'm paying somebody. Like, yeah. Like, I don't care that I lose money fucking paying someone because I'm just done with this shit.
I mean, I don't blame you. It's taxes can be a bitch.
I am seriously leaning towards pushing to repeal the 16th Amendment.
What? No?
Why not?
I mean, it's like the basis of our income tax system.
Yeah. Without it, all income tax would be unconstitutional.
Yeah, well, yeah. How is the federal government going to make money?
Well, they figured it out before. They can figure it out now.
We also they did figure it out before. That was also before.
I know.
What year did they actually?
It was 1913.
Ratified. Overturned the 1895.
Yeah, it's been a century since we ratified that. I watched this.
Prior to that, income tax was unconstitutional.
Yep.
A direct tax not apportioned by state populations required in the Constitution.
Yep.
I should probably know about this stuff. I do taxes for a living. I do indirect tax.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you're good. I watched a video by a lawyer on YouTube, and he broke down why we have income tax. And if you can watch that video without getting furious, like as a U.S. citizen,
I
like
mean, it's the same with like, I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, income tax at a federal, state, and for Ohio in particular, local, and you have sales tax,
yeah,
which is technically a tax on top of purchases of your wages. You're using your wages that already have been taxed to then be taxed again, and it's like I get where people are like, dude, taxes are fucking stupid, and I'm like, yeah, they are, but like, and honestly, in America, they're some of the most complex.
yeah. But so here's the thing. So what the U.S. used to do to make a lot of money outside of tariffs are obviously one of the best ways to make money as a
Yeah.
government without taxes. But what they used to do is they would actually make deals with businesses where the businesses like it was in a way where basically both parties won. The U.S. government got money from the businesses, and the business got assistance from the U.S. government to produce better products. So it was a win-win. It spurred the economy. Like it did a lot of things, and the U.S. government made money off of that. Um, the problem was that farmers tariffs were like negatively impacting farmers. Um,
Obviously, yeah.
because uh, what is it? It was negatively impacting small farmers because the big farmers could effectively control because outside countries couldn't compete. The bigger farmers up could raise their prices to just below the level that the tariff was,
Yep.
and it meant that it in turn meant that smaller farmers were getting screwed. And there was enough small farmers that were getting mad about it. So the US government pushed the solution. It's like, hey, if you let us do income tax, we can tax the top 1%. We can tax the rich and solve this problem. And yeah, that's how we got income tax. that's the short of how we got income tax. It's always
A lot of
the spiel has always been, let's just tax the rich to solve the problem. And what ultimately happens is taxing the rich means taxing the poor.
well, and I've always thought that there should be so the way that our income tax system, I think it should be simplified in the sense of it's just a flat rate. Like
Yeah,
you don't have your outside deductions where you're uber rich can leverage assets to take loans out, and because a loan it's not ordinary income, doesn't get taxed.
yeah,
Like, which a lot of wealthy people do. They're like, hey, I've got $1 million worth of assets, stocks, what have you. I want to leverage that and take a loan out for $500,000. Use that, generate, income and pay it back, but technically have a net zero on their income taxes because they didn't, on paper, they didn't make any money. Um, and obviously, there's a bunch of other like look at like Bill Gates and stuff. They all have foundations and
yeah,
ways of cheekily getting around it. And I've always been under the thing like, well, why don't we just abolish all of that, make everybody pay a flat 15%? So the uber rich are getting taxed at 15%. Regular people are getting taxed at 15%, which is already what they're getting taxed at most of the time.
yeah,
Um, outside of, keep like the standard deduction because that'll only help poor people, and keep the child dependent um, credits that will help mostly poor people because it offsets your income proportionally much greater than like LeBron James.
yeah,
But like LeBron James makes $200 million, tax him at 15%. He can't get around it. Ergo, you've now generated more income than you would have previously. But the people that lobby for these tax incentives have much more money to lobby against what we have, ergo they get their way. Um, I'm now getting into. So we've got tax attorneys and stuff that work at my company, and I was talking to a couple of them. They're like, "Yeah, we're going out to D.C. to lobby," and I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "So we go out there, we meet Congress people,
Yep.
and we like talk to them about how they should like give us preferential treatment, basically."
Yep.
And like obviously I work in corporate America. So corporate Jason's like, "Yeah, no, that totally makes sense." But like the regular guy Jason is like, "Wow, that's really fucked."
Yep.
So you're gonna go out there, get wined and dined, and just rub elbows with politicians that have power and influence, and you basically want to make friends with them to get like preferential treatment.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, I'm really against that, but my job says otherwise. So like, it's kind of like catch-22. It's like, well, that's really fucked up, but like, that's kind of how I make my living. So more power to you guys.
Yeah. I think okay, so I think the most egregious tax in the world is property tax. After that, I think income tax is just
Fair.
I dislike it. And I think the government can get more creative with how they collect money, and the argument against repealing the 16th Amendment is, oh, well, we've bloated the federal government. It would be an economic disaster right now if we repealed the 16th Amendment. I'm like, true,
Correct.
but I also disagree with the government bloat. Like, it's like, you're not wrong. I don't disagree with what you're saying. It would be an economic disaster. But whose fault is that? The idiots that let us grow the government that fucking big.
Well, and it's not even grow the government that big. It's not creating a self-sustainable, I'm going to just say company, because the government is essentially a company, but they don't, their service is upkeeping roadways. Then obviously federal is a little different, but I'm just going to stick to state and local for that matter. Um, the federal government, their infrastructure is set place to have us prosper as a unified society. Um, if the federal government falls, each state acts on its own, and then I don't even know what we turn into at that point. 50 countries? Like, we just turn into Europe.
But just to clarify, it was always the United States. We were always individual states first, united under one set of common ideals.
Well, we are until federal regulations and laws supersede any state and local. So, like, yes, we are the United States and we are unified under one government. But when that government supersedes any, like, if the federal government came out yesterday like, hey, marijuana is federally accepted and legal. The states, they can go to court. They can take the federal government to court, which is always comical to me when you have government systems taking each other to court. Because I just imagine, like, the same attorney arguing both sides. Obviously, that's not how it really works, but it's just, like, it's a ridiculous thing to think about. But it's just, it's kind of how, like, shit. European Union isn't exactly worked that way, but it's a unified governing body to try to propel the rest of the inhabitants, quote unquote, states, countries, whoever. But it is also just nonsensical when you start, like, really, like, it's one of those things when you say it out loud, you're like, that doesn't really make sense, does it? It's like, no, it doesn't. It's like, well, that's the way we're gonna do it, guys.
There's just a lot. Like, I think we should get rid of Social Security.
I'm down for that. Well, Social Security, though, it does help a lot of elderly people.
Yeah, and so here's the thing, though. Well, here's the thing. We've already made that promise to them. We have to fulfill that regardless. Everyone who's already signed up for Social Security has to be fulfilled up to what we've already promised them. So we've already made that promise. If we cut Social Security now, all we have to do is fulfill the debt we've already promised.
Which would stop at, whoever's currently working.
Yes.
Um,
So it's like
and that definitely could. But the thing is it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, let's say we did cut it off now. Well, with the baby boomers living longer, they would eat up that amount of money, and it would basically be gone. I would like them to do something, and it's going to sound very strange, but I almost wish Social Security acted more like a 401k, where a portion of your check gets put into, like, basically like Fidelity.
yeah.
And you can see it, it's tangibly there, and you can kind of control what it's being invested into or what you want to do with it, rather than basically blindly giving the federal government money for Social Security. And they're like, hey, when you're 65, we might give you a portion of this. And it's like, yeah, but if you would have given me that money and it grown at 4% a year, I would have vastly more by the time I could actually tap into it.
I think I just fall back onto there are other ways that the government can make money that are more effective than what they're currently doing. And I don't think that we should use the programs we've developed as scapegoats to not try that. And like Social Security, like I would be fine with maybe starting with like opt out.
Fair.
Like you can opt out. Like I would be fine with starting there. I guarantee you a lot of people would opt out.
Oh, I would opt out in a heartbeat.
100%.
I can take that money and make better use of it.
Exactly.
Although when the joke is always like, well, you guys might not see Social Security, and I'm like, then why the fuck am I paying into it?
Yeah.
If you keep telling me I might never see it, like, I don't want to keep giving you this money.
Yeah.
Nor I don't think I should be obligated to give you this money, because it's like, that'd be like me giving you $50 a week, and you're like, all right, man, in 2 years, I might give you this money back. And it's like, no, like, I'm giving it to you to, like, hold on to for when I can use it later. And it's like, yeah, but, like, it might not be there. So, like, that is a thing, but I'm going to keep taking the money. And, like, it's kind of, you sit there like, but that's mine. You can't take my money and then just act like you're not going to give it back.
I just think we made a mistake with Social Security.
I don't disagree with you.
We made a very poor assumption, which was that the population of the U.S. would continue to grow at the rate that it was growing.
Very fair.
That's the assumption we made. Because the only way Social Security makes sense is if we have the population rate increase that we had in the 70s. Which we don't.
Well, I mean, at this point, we kind of have a negative.
Yes.
Well, not a negative. We're not at a negative increase.
We're pretty close.
It's the triangle is pointed downward.
Yeah.
And which is, I mean, and a lot of countries are actually running into that, where their population is dwindling, but people aren't, let's say, I don't know, 60 years ago, the average household had 4 children.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like 1.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, in another 60 years, our population is going to decrease by roughly 30%. What the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, incentivize people to have kids? Like, no, that doesn't work, because then you're putting a Band-Aid on a growing problem. You're not finding a solution. You're just like, this, like, it's like giving your kid a treat so they'll act better.
Okay, I agree. Okay. I can see the argument for maybe not incentivizing people to have kids, but I would also say we also shouldn't incentivize people to have kids out of wedlock, which is what we're currently doing.
I'm full agreement. Not disagreeing with you at all. That is a whole nother. Now, see that now, oof, that's a dicey. That's a depending on who you talk to.
I know.
I'm somebody who's very open to stuff like those types of conversations, but there are a lot of people that like that's where the conversation can turn at the drop of a hat.
Oh, I
Because
know.
then they feel like you're like attacking their, and it's like, no, no, no. But if you look at this from a logical standpoint, it just makes sense.
Yeah,
Like I'm not
single
trying to
mothers
like,
get
and that's the
real mad
logic
when
and more.
single mothers get real mad when you tell them that there's like raising a kid in a single mother household is a bad idea.
Yeah.
There was one. What is it? What's her name? Ann Coulter. She was famous for it. She would constantly say that. It's like she's like the number one indicator of success in this world is whether you have a mother and father in your household. Every single source of data backs that up. Like what?
I agree.
It's like she's like, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying that if as a mother you should want what's best for your child, which means yeah, people don't like that message.
It's it's well, it's the logic of stuff where it's like, no, like that, like you have a point, but nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Um, and it also kind of goes with like you have that issue, and a lot of those families then get other subsidies, and you're like, well, now we're just causing a bigger problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Road to Rome is
yeah,
paved
that's
with
a
good
tough one.
intentions.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's very true. Sometimes you have to have those hard conversations of like, listen, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but this is truly the important parts.
What's funny is like, because I come to it from a much different perspective. A lot of the things that the federal government does, I feel are the responsibility of the church. Um,
Okay.
so I feel that it's the church's responsibility to take care of the sick, take care of the poor, and help those in need. When the
Yeah,
federal
I
government
agree.
when the federal government started doing that, taking over that role, I feel things got worse. They had a good reason for doing it, which was that people needed help.
Yeah,
I think it was just the mistake that, well, then the government should provide that help. Um, I always
yeah,
I always fall back on like there's a reason. It's over 90% of all hospitals are religious, like named religiously, because
yeah,
most of them were started by churches because they wanted to help the sick.
correct.
So it's like that was the church's role, and I don't think we as a society should have let the government take that away from them.
I'd agree with that.
I didn't know if you would because I'm like it's a very religious viewpoint. Like so it's like
Well, so I agree with it in the sense of so the church at the end of the day, and again, I can only speak from my upbringings in the Catholic Church.
Mhm.
So the Catholic Church in particular, I can't speak of any other ones.
Yep.
It runs as a business. Um, there is a lot of yeah, the intent of the church, and especially growing up in the church, is kind of like to foster a communal. It's a communal thing. It's helping your fellow man, woman, child, people that fall on hard times. Um, now again from a Catholic Church perspective, the governing body of the Catholic Church, I don't know if I agree with completely
Yeah.
in the way in which they handle business.
Yeah.
Not to say that I think that they're doing anything inherently wrong. It's just it is a business at the end of the day.
Yep.
Um, now going to from what you were saying, yeah, I mean I think that health and wellness in that or in that like area, as far as like hospitals and stuff, they they should make money. Don't get me wrong, because doctors are not free. Health
Yep.
healthcare is not free, but it's kind of like the military when a hammer costs $5,000.
Yeah.
Like a bag of saline, if you look at, if you get like, when your wife had your guys' baby,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys got a medical bill, and it's like you look at like an itemized bill, and you're like, why was,
Yeah.
a bag of saline, which is basically just water, uh, $2,000.
Yeah.
It costs $40 to make, maybe, or even less. I don't know what the actual numbers are. I think it's kind of that, and there's a lot of different industries that are in that same. I mean, college for one. Like it's these overinflated prices, and it's almost like a racket where you have to, like, you go to the hospital. I can't ask for cheaper stuff. Like
Yeah.
they give me what I give me, and they give me a bill. I go to college. They
Well,
say I
wait.
need to buy a textbook. Yeah. What's up?
Sorry. I want to comment on they give me what they give me and I get a bill. That's not necessarily true. We look at it that way because we're so used to that. But the only reason that is because 90% of people who walk into a hospital have insurance through their company and they don't think about it.
True.
A lot of, like, you can deny any and all service that they provide for you. And
Oh, I'm fully aware.
and
Um,
you can question whether what they're doing is needed. And often, if you tell them you don't have insurance, they will question whether what they're doing is needed.
that's very true. And on the other side of excuse me, on the other side of the coin, you know, it's kind of like one of those, and this is more of a systematic thing. So like, let's say I have a virus or an infection.
Yep.
There is like two things on this planet they give you. They'll give you like Zithromax, a Z pack. They'll give you some type of like not penicillin as it is, but like something to fight off that virus. I do not need to go into a doctor's office and have them charge me a $500 visit for them to feel my throat and go, "Yep, you're sick. Thank you, doctor. I'm glad your years of medical expertise have come to this decision. Can you please prescribe me what I fucking need? Like, I don't need all of these things, but like you have to do the song and dance."
Yeah.
Which is why, like, in other countries, like you go to Canada, or when I was down in the Dominican Republic, like going through the airport, I had never seen this before because that was the first time I had ever traveled outside of the United States. Going through the airport, they have like a not a clinic, but I would say it's like a CVS, and they have antibiotics. I mean, just on the shelf you can buy, and I'm like, this is wild to me. Like, I don't have to go to a doctor to get a generic antibiotic that I would go to a doctor regularly to get prescribed.
Yeah.
I don't need to get prescribed these things. Now, I'm sure there are reasons as to why not to give people unlimited access to those things, because they'll overtake them, and that's how superbugs start, and that's a whole different conversation. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is, like you were saying, it's bloat. It's these hyperinflated
Yep.
things that it's been going on for so long, it's like you can't stop the train. Or if you could, I have no idea how you even would be able to. It's a tough thing.
There are some
Okay.
things that you can't, that are unavoidable in the medical industry. But I think, I don't know. I think there are certain changes that need to be made.
100%.
I think
Unfortunately,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
it should be federally mandated that you can opt out of medical coverage at work. I think you should not be forced to take the medical coverage from your business.
Now, understood. Let's say that hypothetically you could do that, but
Yeah.
then you get sick and you go to the. So, are you saying more like you yourself should be able to deem if I want to take the gamble of not having health care, or pay for medical coverage.
Well,
And if I do get sick or I do need to go to the hospital, like that's on me.
I'm saying I should be allowed to make my own choices about my medical coverage. What I mean by that is if I want to go with a different medical provider, technically now, like, if I want to go with a different health insurance from what my
Hmm.
work offers, technically I can.
Yes.
But I'm paying,
Okay.
I'm getting one that's taken out of my paycheck, and then I have to pay on top of that for the second health insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
I'm
I'm
following.
saying I should have the authority as a human being to decide, do I want to go with the cheaper option that is much more financially viable to me, which is what my company offers me, or would I rather pay for the insurance I want?
That's fair. The ability of choice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I think that's an important thing. Is ultimately the the ability of choice. Um, which doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't exist, but a lot of times, like even though you think you have a choice, you really don't. It's like, yeah, you have a choice between option A or B. It's like, well, I don't like either of those, and it's like, well, too fucking bad.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Because that when I worked for Procter and Gamble, that was the number one thing that bothered me, was I was forced to use their medical coverage. And it's like, yeah, I could go get my own health insurance, but I'd have to pay on top of what I'm already getting taken out of my paycheck, which why would I do that? And
100%.
I was just like, and health insurance, like the big reason why I think that matters is health insurance is often restrictive on what doctors you can see or what hospitals you
Correct.
can
The
go to.
network.
And yeah, it's the network. So it's like if I want to go to this specific doctor who I know is going to be really good with my family, I really like them, but they're out of network, then what am I paying for
I
this
can't.
health insurance? Like I can't. It's just
Yeah, it's oh no, I completely agree.
and
It's the fact like again, it's an option like I want to go to a doctor. Like, well, here's
yeah,
four that you can go to.
God
It's like, well, what
forbid
about
you
these
live
20
in
over here?
yeah, God forbid you live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and the closest doctor to you is not in network. Like
That is a very very good point. Yeah, it's like well, none of those doctors are around me, and it's like, well, I don't know how to help you. Like
yeah.
what are you here for then? Like to take your money?
Yeah.
Like okay, well, I'm glad that at least you were like you're honest. You're just here to take my money, but like I'd prefer if you give me
And
some
so
type of
like again, I'm not saying like all I'm saying is that you should be required to let your employees opt out. I mean, it's their money, right? Like
uh, fair. At the end of the day, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
it's like
Um,
that's part of like you say, oh well, that's part of our benefits package. It's like, okay, why is it part of the benefits package? It's because you wanted to give your employees additional money that was tied to something. And it's like all I'm saying is they should be allowed to opt out.
that's I mean, that's not disagreeing with you on that. Like that's totally fair.
They would probably get
Um,
pushback from the insurance industry though, if that
oh,
ever like
100%.
because the insurance industry would
I
all
mean,
of a sudden lose thousands, hundreds of thousands.
well, I mean, insurance is also a racket. I mean, how many times have you heard people that are like, let's say they have insurance, and I'm going to say like house insurance, and a
Yep.
tree falls to your house, and you're like,
Yep.
well, unfortunately,
You didn't have this
the coverage
insurance.
you have doesn't,
Yep.
yeah, it doesn't cover, like, there's this little thing, and it's like, well, then what the fuck am I paying you guys thousands of dollars for if I can't use it when I need it? And they're like, well, you see,
My
sucks to
wife,
suck.
yeah, my wife ran into that with our car. Um, she got into an accident in a snowstorm, and
Mhm.
insurance wouldn't cover it because it was some. I think it was like incidental insurance or whatever. There was some. It
Yeah,
was very nuanced thing. It's like, sorry, this isn't covered, and my wife was furious. So ever since then, I'm surprised we stayed with the same company, but ever since then, she's every time we get insurance for a vehicle. She's like, make sure this is on it because it's bullshit if it's not. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, it's like you're because if it's one of those things where it's like, well, this isn't on it, and it's like, well, what do I do now? And it's like, well, you're fucked. And it's
yep.
like, oh, well, thank you.
I think we got $100 from that car because it was totaled,
Lord.
and the
Yeah, I mean,
only reason we got $100 for it was because some guy was just driving around, and he's like, "Hey, I saw it in your driveway. I'll give you $100 for it." And I was like, "Please, I'm tired of seeing that eyesore." Like,
sure, you can fucking have it for $100, sir.
like, I didn't care at that point. I was like, I just want it out of my sight.
That's so unfortunate that's
Yeah.
like that's a reality too. And a
Yeah,
lot of or God forbid you fucking like some like uninsured motorist hits you, and it's like, well, that's you're gonna have to call your insurance company. It's like, yeah, but this wasn't my fault. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you.
we struggled a
It's like,
bit.
tell me good news.
We struggled a bit, but I made enough money that we got a car pretty soon after that. It was a lemon. Oh my gosh, that was such a... I've never felt so stupid, like, in my
Well,
life. We bought this car. Okay, you're gonna laugh, because we were just so done with this. We bought this car, we did a test drive, drove fine. It looked fine. I am apparently really bad at noticing small details, because we get back, and we notice, we get back and we take it to our local mechanic. And the mechanic's like, so, you want the bad news or the bad news? We're like, what? And he's like, well, your muffler's shot. Or your whole exhaust system needs replaced. And 2, you got 4 different tires on this thing. And I'm like, what?
So, one of those things, I mean, that's an honest mistake. 4 different tires, that's kind of,
yeah.
One of those where it's like, yeah, this one's on you, man. I don't know what to tell
That's
you.
why I felt so stupid. I was like, 4 different... I brought it back to the dealer, and I looked at him, and I was just like, there's 4 different tires on here. And he was like, all right, that's fair. and so that dealer...
That's one of those, like, dude...
That dealer apparently cared so much about his reviews that he actually did. He replaced the tires, and he didn't replace the... Well, first he tried to replace the exhaust. That dude cut out he cut out the muffler on the exhaust and put in a straight pipe. Yeah. And we looked at that before even taking it back, and we're like, no. Like, no. And so he footed the bill. So I am 100% serious.
That's wild.
So he agreed to foot the bill for the replacement exhaust, and we didn't even we're like, we're not letting you do it. You're paying for it, and we're going to our mechanic.
Do not blame you.
And yeah, that is 100% what happened. He paid for it, and we're just like, we never talked to that dealer again. We were just like, we were stuck with the car because I was like, there's no way he's taking the car back. So let me just try to see what I can get out of him. Like, because this is bullshit. Like,
dude, that is legitimately wild.
Yeah. But this, I mean, it was right, to be honest, because she totaled her car, what was it? 2022, like January 2022. And the car market was insane. And we couldn't find anything affordable. And like, we were doing okay, but not that okay. Like, so we had to take what we could get. We saw it it was like, I think it was like 10 grand. And we're like, cool. We'll take it. Like, we need a car. Like, it's not, we were borrowing my dad's car at the time. Cause I'm like, my dad is, he's not going to let me live without a car. So we took it, but man, that was such a learning experience. But then, like, oh, what was it? Then when the baby came along, we were doing so well financially, we bought a new truck. And then after we got the new truck, we had the truck for like 6 months. We sold the old car, and that was the end of that story. And now we have a really nice truck. Like,
That's dope.
yeah. So it's like, I made enough money that we were able to get through that, but god damn, it was like, it was like right after we moved in the new house, and I was getting hit with so many things. It was like, I think it was every month I had a different like $1,000 problem that like for a year. Like,
Ooh.
it was just like one month it was termites, next month my cat was dying, then it was the car wreck, then it was just like one thing after the other for a year. Oh, that's life, man.
That's miserable.
Yeah. It's okay though. Alright, let's get on to the fun stuff of the night. Game design.
There you go.
Yeah. Got some work to do. Alright, I can go in here and transition. There we go. Dude, I realized, did I tell you this? I was calling the game Armada Shattered Sovereignty, which I thought was like, oh, it's this really epic name. And then I realized it spelled ass, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's...
well, because, so I looked up, like, Armada, like, whether there was any board games or anything called Armada. And there is from the 1980s, and I'm like, I don't want to get sued by some random ass company. Like,
Oh,
so,
dude, 100%.
so I'm like, I need to make it legally distinct somehow. And so I was trying to add like cool words after it to make it legally distinct. And then I realized I just spelled out ass and was like, what do I do now?
I say roll with it.
I probably will, because I think it'll be a funny like nickname for the game, but I think most people will just call the game Armada.
Most likely.
Because my idea, I wanted something that worked kind of like Magic the Gathering. People just call it Magic. Like, I wanted it to be something that was easy to say. People would easily know what you're talking about. Like, hey, you want to play a game of Armada? Like, people would know right away.
I think that's a good name for it. It also kind of like speaks to, ships.
Yep. All right. Oh, man. Are we on for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Cool. I'm just checking,
I'm on.
man. Freaking, I didn't know if Super Bowl Sunday was going to mess things up somehow.
No. That's now if we played on Sundays, it might. I have to host a Super Bowl party, so.
Oh. Okay, I have a real question for you.
Yeah.
How many people do you think are going to completely turn off the game during the halftime show?
Percentage wise, I'm gonna say at least 50%.
Really? At least half of the viewership? I was thinking like conservatively like 30%.
I think 50% will turn it off. Now I think there will be a number of people that don't care.
I think there's enough people that'll just walk away. Like,
yeah.
Plus, not to mention a lot, like, you're hosting a party. A lot of the viewership's going to be at bars, at parties, at, like, that are obviously not.
I personally don't give a rat's ass.
Oh, I don't either. Like, personally, I don't care because I haven't cared about football in, like, a decade, so that's more why I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't get... Well, no, that's not true. I do understand, but I disagree with the idea that football should necessarily be a statement about the US as a whole. Like, I don't think football should represent the US. In fact, I think we shouldn't want it to represent the US because we should want other countries to pick up the sport. And so this idea that, oh, this singer is controversial and doesn't represent US values or things like that, which is what a lot of people are touting, whether or not I agree with that, I really don't care. Like, but it's like I don't think we should look at football that way. I'm like, who cares? It's a random singer. I didn't watch the halftime show anyway. I used to watch the Super Bowl for the freaking commercials, which I am sad that they're going downhill. Like,
Yeah. Uh, Um, I and I. So I'm not even a sports guy to begin with. Like, I'm hosting the party because I came in last in our fantasy league, and that is like, last place has to host the party, which I'm fine with. I like hosting people. I don't really care about sports. The halftime show. I think I've watched one. Red Hot Chili Peppers played at one point years ago, and I watched that one. And it was all right. Um, last year they had what was that, Kendrick Lamar? Like, it was very edgy. I was like, all right, this is what it's a dog and pony show, and I'm not one to watch dog and pony shows.
yeah,
It's just not me. Uh, I could care less. I also really could care less about the sports because it's a bunch of people that are overpaid and a bunch of people that go to the game that paid way too much for tickets that I still don't understand. Like, you want to get a ticket to the Super Bowl, the cheapest ticket's probably like 8 grand.
that tracks.
It just, I mean, it's
I
just, I mean,
given how much the tickets to the World Cup final are, yeah, that tracks. Dude, I wish I could
yeah,
buy
it's,
this
I
thing
mean,
so fucking bad. Oh man, sorry.
I mean, you can buy it. Just put yourself in crippling debt.
No, so let me see. Can I show you? I have, you know how I have all those miniatures behind me? Oh, which reminds me, I gotta turn this light on.
Hmm.
So a lot of them, I mean, I 3D printed all of them. And one of my favorite artists, I still follow on Discord. And he's been doing,
Okay.
let me share my screen. Can I share? Uh,
Well, do you have
sorry.
your stream up on YouTube? I'll just pull it up.
I'm on YouTube and Twitch. So,
I think I have your Twitch. Second. Yep. Okay.
so he's been doing this monster hunter world inspired models lately. And this thing just looks so epic. I want it. Um,
That is very intricate.
yeah, dude, this guy's freaking amazing. Like some of his work, but I had to stop subscribing to him because you can get all these models for $10 a month, and he's been doing. This was another one. This was actually one of that he printed out because he prints them out so you can get an idea of what they look like. Um, and then
That
yeah, this was the whole collection he
that
just
almost looks
did.
like something from Monster Hunter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's inspired by that from
Yeah.
Monster Hunter. So like, I just want these so bad. They're so freaking cool. Like just all of them. I want to print every single one of these out. Like, but
You have a 3D printer?
I do. But I
Well,
had to save money. I canceled my subscription to this guy. Um, but
okay.
literally half the models up on that shelf behind me are from this guy. Like he did this set, which this was another one I was sad I missed. It's he did an unalive set where skeleton stuff. I just love it. Just love all of it. So fucking
I
cool.
like that a lot.
Yeah. What was did this epic dragon fights? Like just oh man, I just love all of it, and I just
Well,
So, but alas, right now I just can't afford it.
no, that's fucking sweet though.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah, I just have to accept it. But I keep watching the guy because he's so good. Like I just his work is amazing. What I think is
Good
crazy
time.
though is the um, legality behind selling uh selling 3D prints that other people modeled.
Mm.
Um,
Um, it kind of goes into your intellectual property, but then I mean IPs are really kind of tough to patent.
so I already
And
I've
that's
looked
truly
it
what it
all
is
up.
at the end of the
The
day.
legal thing at the end of the day, it's their IP, it's their copyright. You can't just sell it without their permission.
Correct.
And my issue with that, and I recognize both sides of it. I just kind of lean towards I'm like, but technically speaking, the sheer act of me 3D printing it is a distinct change to the artwork.
Mm, if you changed the blueprint you were using, I would be in agreement. But if it was a one, like let's say you 3D printed a figure
Yeah.
and you somehow got your hands on the blueprint for that figure. Now, if you did modifications to it, then I would say, yeah, it now no longer falls under their intellectual property. But if it was like I ripped the file somehow, so however, and I 3D print it myself, then yeah, I would say that would be infringement.
So
Um,
my point is when I 3D print it, one, I choose the resin that I'm going to print it in. So I have multiple different colors. That's the first thing. Second, I could paint that. That paint, like me painting it, is me changing the artwork, creating my own artwork out of their product, which I've paid for.
Fair.
So that was what I was struggling with. Now, again, I've looked this all up. None of that matters. It's still his property. Like I recognize, I just think it's wrong. like, like, like I, 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 because my belief is he owns the model itself. Like he owns the the STL file, the details of its construction. He owns that. I can't sell that file. I can't pretend that that file is my own. But when I print it, I am making a distinct change to his artwork.
By using a different filament.
Yes.
Hmm. Ooh, that's tough. Only because I look at situations like, and this is completely like out of left field, but Ferrari. So when you purchase a Ferrari, if I want to paint the Ferrari a wacky, and there's been a court case that I'm not sure what actually happened with it, but they took the person to court, and I want to say they won because a person purchased a Ferrari and they painted it like this wacky color, and they changed it. Well, it went against their guidelines, and because they have the intellectual property of what have you, I could see where you're coming from, where it's like it's technically a new product or a different product,
Mm-hmm.
but the structure is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it goes on what actually falls under, like what truly is their IP.
Yep.
Is it the design, or is it, because if it's the design, then no matter what color you put it in, it's still the same. If it's blue, red, purple, black, different materials, the design is the design at the end of the day. Or is it the design paired with the type of filament used? And that's where that's kind of like a gray area now that I think
Yeah. Well,
about it.
because the thing is, he like yes, he prints his out, but again, I don't purchase his printed product. I purchase his file.
Hmm.
But currently, legally speaking, all that purchase does is give me a license to use the file. I'm not purchasing the file I don't own the
Correct.
file. I have a license to use the file. And that's why
It's like
I
Nintendo.
yeah.
It's like Nintendo.
So,
That's interesting.
now, this guy's cool. You
I've
can
never really gotten into
yeah.
that.
This guy's cool. You can pay 60 bucks a month instead of 10 bucks a month for a commercial license, and then you can sell his
Uh-huh.
stuff. But that was just one thing I thought about, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to start like a D&D miniature sourcing company where
Uh-huh.
I could, like, people would request like 20 goblins, a couple of hobgoblins, like a dragon, and I would source
Yeah.
different models, print them, and send them to them. And so my
Now that
thought, and
continue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
my curiosity was, can I can I sell an unspecific object? Like, people can't request specific models; they just request specific creatures, and I give them a package that contains those creatures. And it still ran into that legal landmine of, no, you have to pay for the commercial license if you want to do that.
Hmm.
So, but I had enough reliability issues with my 3D printer that I didn't want to start that business. So,
Fair.
3D printer is great. I love it. I have tons of fun with it. But I've had when you run into a problem with a 3D printer, you can go mad trying to fix it.
I can imagine.
And it's not exactly cheap to just replace the 3D printer. So,
I can imagine they're fairly expensive to replace and also
yeah.
just expensive to fix.
It's not that bad to fix. The problem is even the biggest name brands have terrible tutorials on fixing them. They'll sell you the parts, but the tutorials on actually how to do it are terrible. And if you make a mistake, you void your warranty. And yeah, it's just it's just a landmine, man. It's like you have to accept that if you're going to try and fix it, you're not going to get your money back. So your options are fix it or ask for a refund, which you likely
That's unfortunate.
won't get. Um, all right, I really do want to get working on this. But yeah, I love that guy's work. As soon as I can afford to pay for him again, I will, and I'll start printing stuff. I still have stuff from him that I need to print because it's fucking awesome, and I just want to print. Like, he did this whole Pokemon set. He was very careful with like how he modeled them so that they
It
clearly
didn't.
look like
Yeah.
the Pokemon, but they're not close.
Yeah.
Uh,
You do not want to get into a fucking battle with Nintendo.
yeah.
They have shown themselves to be not the easiest to
They
work
did
with.
lose to what was it?
Pal World.
Yeah, Power World. They lost.
Pal
I was
World.
surprised. It's the first case they've ever
I
lost.
was too. Yeah, that's because Pal. I mean, again, Pal World. I'm not saying it was a rip from Pokemon, but like the items you used to catch the pals, the way that the pals operated, they looked. I was like, oh, this is basically the like this. Well, the funny part is, as soon as I played Pal World, I'm like, this is the Pokemon I wish they would make.
Yep.
Like
Everybody
it
was
was
there with
very
you.
enjoyable. Um, and again, I haven't played a Pokemon game in quite some time, but I know that the newer games they've went a different path in terms of like how they um, want the game to be played. I'm, personally, I'm not a big fan. I know some people are. more power to them. I just, I'm not. But yeah, I was very surprised when they lost because I'd never seen Nintendo lose.
Yeah. Well, they never had. They've
Yeah.
every court case they filed, they've won. I don't think they
Um,
technically lost. I
I
think they
mean,
settled because I think
it,
Pow World made a few changes, um, but they effectively lost.
listen, even settling is, I mean, a settling is ultimately like what you want to do
Yeah.
because you can control the variables. If you go to court, you might win, you might lose, and if you lose, it it and that's why settling is so good is because if you lose, it opens up the floodgates for people to go in and be like, well, if they won, what's to say we can't win? Which is probably why they ended up settling because it was the smart, it was the smart play. It's like, listen, guys, we can go to court, but if we lose, there might be 40 spin-off Pokemon games that are not or that are similar enough to kind of give you that Pokemon feel, but still not fall within the parameters that it's infringement, and that's where you get that slippery slope of like, well, what do you guys really own? You don't own the idea of making these like fictional fantasy based creatures in a environment that you can catch and train them, and that's when it starts getting very very slippery slope.
Yeah. Well, also, like, if they lose, and this was a really shaky case, everyone recognized that. If they
Yeah.
lost it, there was a good chance it would put a nail in the coffin for them being able to claim anywhere that a game mechanic is copyrightable,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of game companies want. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
Sony got away with their victory in the U.S. with the Nemesis mechanic.
I'm not sure what that is.
It was in what was it? Why am I drawing a blank? It was the Lord of the Rings game. It was uh
Was it
what
for PlayStation 2?
I forget which one. Let me just Google it because it was a big
I was
deal.
gonna say I could look it up real
A
quick.
Nemesis mechanic. Just look it up. It was a huge deal. It was when it came out. People were talking about it. This Nemesis mechanic is one of the coolest things they've ever seen.
Productions, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and
Yep.
Shadow of War. It's a patented emergent gameplay mechanic that generate unique, persistent enemy leaders who remember a player's action. Ah, okay.
Yep.
I do vaguely remember this.
Yeah. They won their court case with that one. And so it became illegal for other games to create anything like a Nemesis mechanic. And it's just like, how can you?
Interesting.
It was huge. And everybody in the gaming community was mad because it's like, why are you? Why? like, like, what do you
Yeah, that's a
actually
really weird
gain?
patent to get.
Yeah, but they got it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Actually, Control Z. I want this layout 50, 50. Okay. Transform. Does it have a custom minimum on it somewhere? There we go. Yeah, so that was like that's what people were worried was that since Sony got away with it, they thought Nintendo was going to give it away with it too. but they didn't, so everything's fine.
Fair.
All right. Oof. Okay. So first, let's fix this. Layout, container sizing, shrink this down to like there. I think looks good. Yep. Name still looks great. And then we have to change this around a little bit. This is no longer going to be called ship stats. This is going to be called ship. What did we call it? Rules text. Ship rules text. Yeah, I just realized.
What's that?
Well, I'm designing this. This layout I'm designing, and I called it a card view layout. But I don't have a way to change the layout for the different cards yet. That just means I have to, the problem I have to solve. Yeah. That's kind of annoying. That is an... Well, let's keep going. We'll solve it later. After the border, add child, ship, layout. I might be able to... Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Make this its own thing, and then... Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. The layout becomes its own separate class. And then I just swap which layout is on the card. Yep, that's probably how it's going to go. Cool. Solves that problem. Anyway, then I add what? I want to add child node, rich text node, ship data, I think I called it. No, ship stats. Okay. And then layout, container, expand. Layout. Why is that stretch ratio so high? Move it back to there. All right. That's good. That is ship layout. Now I gotta fix. Okay, there's a lot I have to fix. Transform, size rotation, scale, pivot offset 0, 0. Position does not matter. They should be full rectangle? No, not full. We want center. Dang it. Okay. so it's 25. Just reset, reset, reset. Okay, we're getting closer. Now, actually, I think that's all I need to do. Grow direction, yeah. Then I go here. And then pivot offset should be 75. Nope. Should be 100 by 75. Cool. There. That's good to go. Yeah, I like that layout a lot. All right, play the game. Where do we go? What's our problem? That's right, because it no longer extends control. Try again. This is where, yep, these labels I need to redo. So the ship name. Ship stats goes, we're actually putting it in the rules text for now. Ship outline. Okay. Run it again. I actually like it like that. What do you think? How does that look? I don't know if you're still watching.
Yeah. It's a little. Okay. It just took a second. So, is there a reason why there's that empty space towards, I guess, in your hand, the top of the cards, or that right hand portion, right there where your mouse is hovered over? Like, is that just supposed to be blank space, or are you gonna put something there as
So
well?
yeah, so let me go through how it's gonna be. So any like specific abilities, like in Magic the Gathering, where your typical rules text would be, is gonna go in this bottom section here. The right side is for all the stats. So Magic the Gathering would be like power and toughness. In this, a ship has a lot of stats. So it has crew members, cannons, maneuverability. I'm trying to think. But it's basically all that information is going to go in the side here. Does that make sense?
Got you. Okay.
So
Yep.
this is the basic
No, I like
layout.
how it. I mean, the layout of it seems nice.
It will probably change as I progress through the game, but this is how it is right now. This is how I imagine it'll be, but I'm already thinking of some ways that it would change. So it's just
Okay.
a start. So now I just need to remake these clickable. Yep. I broke it. No. It's okay.
Oops. That didn't.
So, and then another thing I want to add now, while I can, is that because I want the hand to overlap like this, but I want it to, when you hover over a card, it kind of like pops out like a large version of the card up above it so that you can read it better. Or read it individually so
Makes
that
sense.
that way cards can overlap in your hand and you don't care. So, all
Okay.
right.
No, that makes sense.
Let me fix the clicking issue and then I'll start working on the hover. All right, clicking issue. I think I know what's going on. It's mouse. Doo-doo-doo. So it should stop not on that. It should stop here, which it does. But this is not what gets connected. So what if... So first off, disconnect. What if I click this and I connect, pick that, connect. So that's the ship view. Cool. So ship view worked. Now they are selectable. Let's just do the exact same thing for card view. Now this is going to be big. It should work how I think it will. So I go in here, but I've been surprised before. Disconnect. And then on connect, pick, connect. Oh, I love it. I love that so much. That works really well.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a nice added touch.
That was surprisingly easy to fix. Because I had it working before the cards were overlapped. But when I realized I could put in the overlap, I was like, oh, I got to make sure it works right. And so I'm happy that that was so easy to fix because I did not want a complex fix for that. Because what I've learned is GUI, when things are not easy with GUI, your life is hell.
Yeah.
Like, game functionality, that's a breeze. GUI input, absolute hell.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Did I do my pop out? I don't think I did my pop outs. Let me quick do my pop outs. Options, pop out. Options, pop out. Do this, this. No, do that, and then do that. Okay, so the next thing is to completely mess up everything I just did.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, don't do that.
No, well, I do have to make a change, but I think, can I, like, instantiate? Is there a way I can make this, save branch as seen? Ooh, okay, yeah. Yeah, save branch as seen, and I'm going to call this ship layout. Save. Wait, where did that save? Should have. I actually don't know where that saved. It's fine. I can find it. Open an editor. Is that what I wanted, though? Ship layout. It doesn't capture the outline, which I don't want it to. Because the ship outline is just a texture rectangle I can change. I just don't like how I can't view it well on here. Because this just looks like nothing. Like, it's just... Like,
No.
So it's kind of annoying. But the reason for that is how these layouts work.
Mm-hmm.
is they automatically expand to the size of the thing they're within. So kind of like a goldfish. So in here, like, it looks fine. This is just this, but that's because it expands. I have the ship border and the border's specific amount, and the layout expands to the size within that border. So it lines up perfectly once it's in the card, and that border isn't going to change. So this should work. I just it's just
Theoretically, oh god, oh god, I'm dying. Theoretically,
it's just I think it's the most elegant way of doing this.
yeah, I agree.
Um in the card view. So oh, I do have to find out where that went though. Show in file system. There it is. Ship layout. Oh, it saved where I wanted it to. Cool. Isn't that nice? Okay, ship layout done. Card clicking done. What's next? The hover. The hover's gonna be fun. Let me quick. I want to see if I delete this. Okay, and I drag that there. That worked perfectly. That was easy.
Look at you go.
I hate how easy this is because it's
Love it when a
normally
plan comes together.
it's normally hard. It's like my wife.
Yeah,
It's like my wife getting mad at me every time I put my son down in a minute. She's just like, I hate you.
he's just done.
She's just like,
That's
I
awesome.
I just fought him for half an hour, and you walk in and he's out in 1 minute. Like, like what can I say? He listens to his father.
Well, that's important.
Yeah, well, I just hope he listens to me for the right reasons. Okay, what's next? Right, the hover. I can actually just focus on the hover, and I can spend like an hour focusing on the hover, which is nice. So we go to the script. This is where it gets interesting. So I need to create the scene. What do I call it? I'm trying to see how much I can do without using AI. I've been enjoying
I like that.
whenever I figure stuff out without the help of AI, it does wonders for me because I actually am able to progress faster. Um,
Oh yeah, because you're actually learning instead of just getting something put together and you're like, I don't know how this works, but it does.
okay, so first I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna print event. What that's gonna do is value of string. What did we do? Oh, yeah, that'll break it. Frick. Ship name. Okay. Cool. Editable children. Copy this. Doink. This is for the ship stats. And then the ship outline did not change. Okay. And then I probably have to do the same thing with CardView. So Editable children.
Hmm.
See, I knew it was not going to be that simple. I'm just kidding. This is not a hard fix.
Definitely
I was just being. Okay,
that's fair.
that one's fine. Rich text label. Oh, that's why it was. I understand now. If I go back to right, because it's called card layout. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Ship. As long as it's all editable, I'm good. Okay, I can rename that though. So let me quick. Same thing. Doink. The reason I have different ship views and card views is because card views they're basically just going to be static images, whereas ship views are going to change as they take damage or as you add cannons and stuff.
Makes sense.
It's like the power changing on your creature in Magic when you play
Yeah.
a lord that pumps all the stats.
Okay.
It's just the ship view is going to be more dynamic, whereas card views are static. No matter what, it always says the same thing.
Yeah, as it
Because
should.
it represents a card. Like
Correct. Your ship is something that is going to evolve, essentially.
Yeah. All right, that should have fixed the problems. Nope. What'd I mess up? You're saying ship name. Did I get the wrong one? Ship stats. Maybe I got the wrong one. Card name. Well, it helps if you put the right stuff in the right place, David. There we go. All right. Everything is still clickable. Cool. And what I wanted to happen is happening. Cool. This. Oh, man. It's hard to read, but it's useful information. I gotta rerun it again now that I'm actually watching what happens. So I'm gonna move this off to the side where it doesn't really matter. Okay. Input event mouse motion, button mask, position, relative velocity, pressure, tilt, pin inverted. That doesn't actually help me like I thought it was going to. If I go to what I care about, not the card slot, the card, and I go to the node here, I could link mouse entered and mouse exited. Exited, mouse entered. Mouse entered, mouse exited. So I create a variable called hovering, I guess, mouse hovering would make sense. And it just changes. So signal clicked, variable. Oh man, how do I? This is the stuff where it's just like I don't do it enough that I can't. I have the general idea of what I want to do. It should be just... No, you just do the 2 signals. Okay. Signal. Mouse. Entered. Card. I really can't think of the best way to do this. I know it has to do with signals. I have the card instance. I just want to spawn a blown up copy of the card above it. When
You hover over it.
Yeah. That's all I want to do. Like, just directly above it, it's just a blown up copy of the card. That's all I want. And I just got to figure out the best way to do it. It's got to be far enough above it so that you have to exit hovering over the card to try and click on it.
So
it disappears.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, it can't be clickable.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Can I hover over 2 cards at once? Let me see. I think so. I can't tell. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to connect. Okay, so we're going to do... Start here. Mouse entered. Connect. On card. Mouse entered. Wait. The card. Yes, the card. Connect. On card, mouse entered. Connect. And then we're also going to connect. Mouse exited. Connect. On card, mouse exited. Connect. Cool. And instead of pass, we're going to say on card, mouse entered. We're just going to print mouse entered plus card name. Or wait, no, not card name. Well, no, I can do card name. Card name dot text plus instance plus. Oh no, it won't let me do that. I do this though. Close that %s sent card instance. There we go. And then I do the same thing here. Card, and I just say, I want it to be more distinct, so we're just going to say card left. All right. So move this over here so I can see what happens. Oh wait, get rid of the other log. Dang it. Where's that other log? Is that on GUI event? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, dang it. Card instance ID. Okay, control save. Play it again. All right. So I enter 1. It doesn't double count. It only counts 1. That's good. That's really good. So things I gotta do. I gotta make sure this works. Okay, so the question is, just where do I spawn it? That's like what I know it's so it's like I kind of want to spawn it to main. Cause like, okay, let me go to main 2D. Just grab ship view and plunk it in main. Can I move it? I can move it around.
Okay.
So I can move it around.
Now, are you going to do like a grid system in the water, or are you going to do proximity for ships? Like, are are ships going to have relative range while they're in the water, or are you going to have like a uniform grid system?
Nah, I felt it would be too complicated. You just attack. You can attack any ship. If
That's
you're in,
fair.
if you're in the open ocean, you can attack any other ship that's in the open ocean.
Gotcha.
I. It's kind of like Magic. Um,
No, that makes sense.
it just, in my opinion, it simplifies things.
Oh, no,
In
100%.
terms of user experience, technically speaking, a grid is simpler to do than
Yeah.
anyone can attack anything. But for user experience, it makes it simpler, easier to understand. There's not additional rules over who you can and cannot attack. Just,
Yeah.
um, there
No,
are,
it totally makes sense. I was
yeah,
just curious.
yeah. So it will spawn it, but it needs to be above everything, which it would be. So it spawns it to the main, because if I put it under anything other than main, actually, that's not true. Let me look at ship view. This would make no sense, though, right? Cannot instantiate a scene. Yep, you can't. So I have to put it in main. Okay, which is fine. So, do I have a link to main? Technically, so this script is under. So the script that. I need the coordinates. That's the big thing that I'm struggling with is the coordinates. I think.
Gotcha.
So I need to make if I do a signal, if I emit a signal when it's clicked, I have to make sure that signal conveys the information. Because I could do, I kind of don't want board controller to handle it. Where's UI at? UI is under board? Yeah, UI is under board. So UI could own it, I think. Because UI can reference, it'd have to, wait, what is board? Board is a control node. Wait, I could spawn it on board? me see. And I can move it around. I can. And that kind of makes more sense. And then it's just a sizing issue. How do I change the size? Layout. Scale. What if I did 2? Yeah. There you go. I could do maybe not so big. 1.6. Yeah. It doesn't matter that. The point is that you can tell what card is in your hand. Just by, like, you can hover over it and get the full details of the card. Eventually, you'll memorize your cards because they'll all have individual names, like everybody does. But for those who haven't, you can. And especially since, like, nobody's going to understand any of the cards when they first play this game, which is. So,
No,
it's like.
at all.
They need to be able to read what's in their
to.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is. Like, it's 100% a user experience thing, and it's not necessarily what I should be focusing on right now. I should be focusing on gameplay, but I was like, why don't I do this now before things get complex? Because I'm about to add
Not a bad idea.
I'm about to add different card types. So if I get it working now before I add the different card types, then it just works.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. All right. So that works. I can spawn it on ship. So I emit the signal. I immediately connect that signal. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the script. I can delete that. Delete it. Yep. Go back to the script. So instead of printing, well, we'll leave the prints for now. We want to add signals. Okay, so signal. And this is mouse entered. And we're going to emit. Can I emit? Is there a point? Okay, let me. Control F, clicked. Ship viewed, I clicked on ship. Clicked. And go on ship clicked. We get the ship runtime. Don't really want the ship runtime. What I want is match UI. I want the view. That's what I want. So card view. Okay, so I can't do mouse enter. Okay, so we'll do hovered and unhovered. Sure. Now, I don't necessarily know that I need unhovered. I may not. But for now, I'll do both. Okay. And then what does it emit? It's emit signal hovered self. Right. Same thing. Unhovered self. Cool. So then I go to, and this is all in CardView. So then I go to board UI. And when I 4 of 13. When do I use it? 1, 2. Dictionary of card views. Detached card view. Container, so card view is equal to get card view card.instance ID. If not, card view is equal to card view scene.instantiate. So we get the card view. Build the runtime. So no, I'm kind of. It should be. This is 100% the UI. The UI should own this. The only reason we had board controller do highlighted was, why did we have board controller do highlighted? There was a reason. Right, because board controller needed the. There was a reason. Why did we have board controller do highlighted? On ship clicked. If we take ship runtime, ship data equal logs. So far, the only reason is this. But again, okay, that is a very small reason. Is there a way to get around that? Get attackable targets. Get attackable targets. How do I solve that problem? Needs the, because the UI needs the information from. What does get attackable targets? I think it gets its information from state. Yeah, it gets from the game state. I'm really like. I think the reason was because I don't know. I don't fully know why we didn't just have UI handle this. Because we get the highlighted ship from, right? Go to declare attack attempt. UI begin targeting targets. Pinning attacker. I guess it makes sense. I can separate it out later. Okay. So the only thing. That's right. Just need my parent. Okay, so we're gonna try doing this in UI because I feel like this is strictly UI. There is no gameplay. There is no way that gameplay cares about this hovering card in any way. Whereas a highlighted
Probably
card,
not.
like the highlighted card, the gameplay does care about because you use it for selecting which ship attacks and which one you're targeting.
Yes.
So gameplay does care about a highlighted card, but this, there is not a way that gameplay cares. So I can do this strictly in UI. So this is on card hovered. So on ship clicked, same thing. Okay. On card hovered, I want function first. On card hovered, ship, no, card view, void. Okay. We already have the card view, right? Shift view scene. Yeah, so I can just take card view scene, dot instantiate. Okay. Oh, wait. I don't even need to. Okay, change this around. Change this. Instantiate. We set the card, and then we set the degree, rotation degrees. Okay. Set the card, set the rotation degrees. Cool. Okay. Card view does set card. Container to add child. So we need the thing we're adding the child to, which is easy. We add it to that child. We set the card. We may have to set rotation. I don't think we will, but we will. And then we set location, which is why we want the card view, because the location is relative to the card view's location. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay. So variable view is equal to card view dot stanch scene dot instantiate. Cool. Next. Equal to card view dot card instance. That's gonna gosh. What is card? Card is a card instance. Yep. Cool. Bad. View. So I started watching season 4 of The Lincoln Lawyer today because it came out. They dropped it today on Netflix.
I have still not. That's the series, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen that yet. I need to watch it though.
I enjoy it a lot. I was like ecstatic. I think I watched like 4 episodes today. Like fucking, I was ready to go.
You said that's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I'll have to check that out.
I watched the movie too.
Watch.
You know what's funny is I watched the movie after I watched the series. I was like, oh, so this was a movie first. Matthew McConaughey. It was a good movie. I think the series might be better.
Is it based off of an actual?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right.
I like the shtick.
I've never watched the movie either.
I like the shtick. He's just a lawyer that operates out of a Lincoln. Like it's.
I mean, that's.
It's the Lincoln Lawyer. Like
every good show is a good shtick.
Yeah. All right. So view dot set card instance. Okay. So now we've used all of it. We do need to add. We need to add it before we set it. Okay, so we need to add it. So we need the parent. So the question is, can I just take in board? What's the problem? I can. Okay, wait. Let me make it a variable board. I'm gonna say is equal to if I did this, that's 1 dot. Board 2 dots, which I guess means parent. And then board dot add child view. Then I set the card. And then I'm gonna have to do on unhovered too. That's fine. That's fine. Let me add a variable. So we have a ton of variables here. Ship view by ID, input mode. Put it under highlighted cards, so variable. card hovering, and it's a card view. Equal to null. Set it to null. That way I can just do a simple if card view. Okay. Card hovering is equal to view. So we set the card. Then we need the location. So what are the parameters? Okay, let me drop one. Card view on board. Thank you. Layout. Transform. Position. How do I open documentation? So set position, which is a vector of 0 of x comma y. Okay. And then get position is get position. Okay. And I need to add a certain amount to that. Plus, so I do this plus vector. Okay, let me try it. So view dot set position card view dot get position plus vector 2 what did I do? I'm getting lost. Right. Vector 2 x 0 y. I think I want like negative 400, let's say. Okay. Didn't work. I noticed I have that there. Let me see. Delete. Okay. Play again. No, I don't want to. In fact, if anything, I want to shrink. Shrink this down. Okay, so we get the mouse entered, but I don't get... I don't know where they're going. All right. I guess what we'll do is we'll review my work. All right.
All right, bud. I'm off for the night. I'll catch you later.
Yep, have a good night.
You too.
I just realized. Forgot to put on music. Oops. What tonight? All right, well, we're not on here for long, so let's listen to this. Could have been worse. Okay. Okay, global position. Okay. Let's start there.
any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. Put up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. I'm a fucking phenomenon. Starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I took this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoken into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no capping, I be breaking this. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Hovered. Still can't see it, but I have an idea about that. Okay, so we know it's triggering. Okay. Cool. Then global to local. What is this? Okay. 150, 150. Local position is 50-50. So it's the global. Minus the boards. Play. Yep, that works. Okay, next. Set scale. To perfect. By the way, what's my rotation? Ooh. Script. Hovering. Perfect. Next. Pull it down. care about is the card. Stop. Pass. So card info. So here's the question: why is it rotated 192 degrees? Like, set rotation. Script. Okay. Where do I? 90. Why do I have to set the rotation to 90? If I go to card view, 2D, rotation 0. I should be setting it to 0 degrees. That's the only thing I want to know. Okay, here's what I have now. Um, It's a workaround. It works. Yeah, because they trigger at the same time. There's no reason to do that. I disagree with that. Okay, I'll just let it think I did it. Only problem with this, pushes it off the screen. But I'm going to leave it for now. Yeah. And I'm not going to do it for them. I'm only doing it here. It's 11:50. I'm going to call it there. It was fun. Thank you guys for joining me. I think we got a decent amount done. Hands stack on top of each other. I can still select cards. Yeah. I like what I accomplished today. And flagships look cooler. Cool. Wait for one of my longer days to really get some work done, but I think that's good. I think tomorrow is going to be new cards. Yeah. I don't really... I could do something similar with... The ships are going to be different, actually. Yeah, ships are going to be different, but we spawn it to the board. We spawn it up above. In this case. And down below, if it's the owner. So we'll have to put in a little dink, but we should have the information we need to do it. But it's going to spawn an entire scene, which we'll probably call ship display, because it's going to have the ship like this. It'll have the captain to the left, the crew, or the cannons on top, and the crew down below. Yep. That way you can easily see. Yep. Yeah, I like that. I like how all this looks right now. Okay, so